Welcome to Awake and Activate. Today we're going to talk about the Schumann Resonance. What is measured and how it affects us. I'm inserting the Fair Use Act for the article I will be sharing, but it will be in the description box for you to read it all the way through if you would like and look more into it. And it is allowed for the purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody. We're going to start by reading an article to you. I know so many people cannot stand that robotic reader, but so you have to put up with my reading. And we'll get straight into the article and do the summation after. Enjoy. The Schumann Resonance, and how is it connected to the human consciousness? You have to excuse the black bar. I do not want to accept the cookies, so I'm just going to read along this article, and it will be in the description box for you to go back to if you would like. The Schumann Resonance may not only affect the Earth, but it can also align or implement changes in the human consciousness. The Schumann Resonance is called the heartbeat of Mother Earth by some, and the Earth's vibration by others. Is actually a frequency. It's the measurement of 7.83 hertz, or the electromagnetic frequency of our planet to be exact. The energy can increase or decrease at times, and many think that it affects the consciousness. Is this true? Well, let's take a look at the facts as we know first. Understanding the Schumann resonance, it starts with electrical storms. These are more than just spectacles of frightening events. The electrical storm generates lightning, which creates electromagnetic energy. This energy circling as a wave between the ionosphere and the Earth. It bumps into itself, amplifying the frequencies and turning them into resonant waves. The discovery of these resonant waves was made in 1952 by W.O. Schumann, a German physicist, hence where the Schumann resonance gets its name. In simpler terms, we don't live on the Earth, we live inside it, in the cavity of sorts. This cavity is created by the connection of the surface of the Earth to the ionosphere that surrounds our planet. Everything within that area, namely energies and frequencies, can be influential to the Earth's inhabitants. Mother Earth's natural energies, although the frequency can spike up and down, the Schumann resonance, particularly levels off at the same measurement until recently. Lately, frequencies have been lingering at around 8.5 hertz and even as high as 16 hertz. Even at a stable measurement of 7.83 hertz, the Schumann resonance is thought to have a great effect on humans and animals. We surmise that these spikes in frequencies can have an even greater effect, wouldn't you say? These factors, which cause the fluctuation of the Schumann resonance, influencers such as seasonal changes, solar flares, and electronic frequencies. can alter the frequency at any given time. The recent increase in the average frequency could also be a result of the increase in human activity, maybe even the increase in the human brainwave activity. The Schumann resonance and the human mind. Studies show that this phenomena may indeed affect human consciousness. As I mentioned before, solar flares may contribute to spikes in the frequencies as well. The recent increase in measurements may not only be a result of the increase in the human brain activity or disruption, but can also be cause of an altered brain activity. So, wow, this is saying it could come from many different sources and change over time. We already know that increases of the electromagnetic frequencies do affect satellites and power grids, so it is also possible that we are being influenced as well. Basically, it's a connection we've yet to fully understand. However, the signs do point to yes. I think I'll leave it at that and then give you guys the link. So, because I think we pretty much got the answer to my question, is what the source is of the Schumann Resonance, as it was brought up on Taco Tuesday last night. And a beautiful woman named, oh my gosh, I had it just went blank. Anyway, she called in and we were discussing what the source was, and she said Earth, and so I wanted to look into it, and come to find out it is Earth, it is the ionosphere, it is the electromagnetic, it has to do with lightning, but it also can be a change in our consciousness, in the way that our brain thinks. So there's many different causes and which affects the Schumann resonance. I remember her name. Her name is Vivian, and she called in last night on Talk O Tuesday on the Hebrew channel. So looks like I'll be going on every Tuesday over there. So if you're interested, hop on over there. It's a lot of humor and there's serious topics, but yeah. And by the way, I apologize for my absence. I just really needed some time, so I'm sure you guys understand. Well, anyway, so Vivian called in and she let it be known that there was a 17-hour black area where there was absolutely no energetic spikes on the graph at all, which you can see on this graph. There's a black spot, but it was maybe 1 or 2 hours maximum, where the one she was talking about lasted 17 hours. And the ways you can tell if this affects you, like energy sensitives and empaths, you may feel additional stimuli during the Schumann resonance spike or lack of, like tingling in the crown, mild euphoria. This is if it increase in conscious awareness. And now if it drops, you'll feel tiredness or sleeplessness. This can fluctuate whether the Schumann is up or down. Dizziness, vertigo, inability to focus, headaches, migraines, short-term memory issues, and lack of hunger. And the one thing I've noticed is there are many people that are going through health issues, unusual things going on with them, very much, pain and needing medical assistance. Um, and I too have been affected with the tiredness. I just tied it into the loss with the holiday and the difficulty that I was facing there. But it could be that when that 17-hour darkness, it kind of laid us all out. So it's something, that we should put in our toolbox. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. If you're interested in it, look more into it. If you're not, dismiss it. I'm not saying just because I bring something up that I'm right. I just like to bring up the things that I look into and share what I know or what I find with others so we can, work with this together. So I'm going to keep this one nice and short. You might be seeing a live stream from me tonight. Now, the live stream's going to be about patterns. Seeing the patterns for what they are and recognizing the patterns so we don't keep falling for the same scripts over and over again. And you guys always share what you know and listen so we can all grow. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. And thank you, Vivian, for bringing this to my awareness to look into it. That's an awful long time to have no frequencies or energies coming in when we are used to a 7.83 and for it to just flatline. I also wanted to bring up that not only are we having these unusually high spiking days that can last for hours up to a few days, but the blackouts, but we're also seeing something very unusual on these charts, which is horizontal spikes. And they've always been vertical, and now we're seeing them in the horizontal position. So something to keep our eye on for sure. So have a great day. Peace. I'll talk to you soon.